Welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I'm Cailin, and today I have a Pilates workout for when you sit a lot. So this, for many of us, is every day. It is sitting at a desk, sitting in our cars, driving to and from work, to and from activities for family, whatever it happens to be. So we are going to work on a couple different things today. We're going to work on opening up through the chest and the shoulders and connecting into our back. That's going to help keep this nice and open. Okay, so that is going to be our main thing. We're also working on opening up the hips and the hip flexors, which get really tight as well. And obviously working on that core strength and stability, which is going to help us sit up nice and tall. So this is a great one if you maybe were on an airplane recently, which I was, and if you're in that seat for a long time, you start to kind of get this hunched over position. This would be a great one for travel, or like I said, for just some everyday relief to work on that better seated posture. So all you're going to need today is a mat. You can grab a blanket if you need something under your knees for a little extra padding. So we're going to go ahead and come into an all fours position. So go ahead and come into your all fours. We're just going to work on some mobility at the shoulders and the wrists here first. So make sure your shoulders are right over your wrists and your knees are right underneath those hips. And find a nice long spine supported by your core. And then we're going to start to just rock forward and back. This is just starting to warm up those shoulders, starting to wake up that upper body a little bit more here. And as you're here, kind of sense how your body is feeling. Are you feeling really tight in the upper neck and the shoulders? If so, make sure that your shoulders are really sliding away from your ears down your back. Good, so keep going forward and back. Good, a couple more here. And then I want you to take your hands and you're going to face the fingertips out to the sides of your mat. So we're going to go side to side here now. So just getting slightly different movement in that upper body. Again, still waking up those wrists here as well, stretching them out. That can be also another thing that gets really tight if we're seated a lot and on our computer or hands on a steering wheel. Good, couple more. All right, now we're gonna come back to that more neutral hand position, fingers away. And I want you to start to go into larger movements in a nice big circle here. You can even sit back towards the heels as you come backwards and then over to one side and back forward. Good, do a couple more in this direction and then we're gonna go ahead and reverse those circles. All right, let's go ahead and reverse it now, other way. Starting to connect with your breath, so inhaling, going in one way, exhaling the other. Two more. It's also loosening up the hips here as well. Last one. And then go ahead and bring it back into this all fours position. Now keep your arms nice and straight. We're gonna do sternum drops. We're gonna drop that chest in between the arms without bending the elbows. Then you're gonna go ahead and press the chest away, almost rounding in that upper back. So go ahead and drop the chest down, squeeze those shoulder blades together, press the shoulder blades apart as you bring it up and away. Good, so continue that. This is getting just some nice mobility in the shoulder area. We can tend to get really stuck in one place, especially if we're seated a lot. So I always want to get this nice, healthy mobility here. Good, let's do three more. Three. Last two. And last one. Good, and then press it away. All right, now staying here in all fours, I want you to take this left arm. You're gonna reach it off the mat, reach it forward, and then turn the palm away from the body as you circle the arm back behind you and then back along the floor. Continue with this arm, reach it forward. Good, turn the palm open. Good, lowering it back down. Just one more on this side, reach forward. Nice big circle, adjust that left arm, open, and then bring it back down. Switching other side, right arm reaches forward. Good, turn the palm away and bring it down. Good, so already you're getting a nice Bigger stretch here in the front of that chest and shoulder of that side you're moving. Good, let's do one more. Reach it forward, turn the palm open. Good, and bring it away. All right, go ahead and flip over onto your back. We're gonna do something called angels in the snow and pinwheels, just getting a little bit more opening in the chest and mobility in the shoulders. So feet and knees are gonna stay together for this first part. Eventually we'll move the lower body as well, but for now just focus on the upper body. So your back is on the mat. Make sure you're not arching your spine, but you can keep your mid-back connected into the floor. So palms are gonna face up towards the ceiling, arms down by your sides. Then we're gonna start to bring the arms along the floor all the way up overhead behind us. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring them back down. So nice open externally rotated shoulder. And the fingertips are trying to graze the floor if they can. If they can't make it there, that's okay. Just do what you can. And you're just imagining you're making your angels in the snow, just like you may have done when you were little or your kids still currently do. But this is just a nice way to, again, open up through the front body, find some mobility. Now, we're gonna add the lower body. So as you open the arms up and back behind you, you're gonna let the legs butterfly, knees are gonna widen. So you bring the arms up overhead. And then as the arms come back down by your sides, the knees come back together. Good, so keep that going. Inhale, open the arms, open the knees. And then exhale, arms lower, knees together. Good, just do 3 more like that on your own time. This is just getting some nice, again, more mobility in the hips, some nice opening, external rotation, good inner thigh stretch. Good, 2 more. Good, and last one. Good, lower the arms, the legs come together, perfect. All right, now come to your side. I'm gonna lay on my right side first. I'm gonna prop your head onto your lower arm. And your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked here. And we're gonna start to do pinwheel with this top arm here. So we're gonna reach this arm forward, then start to circle it again, still along the floor. As we bring it back behind us. Good, once it comes about right straight out from your shoulder behind you, you can look back towards that arm too as you're twisting your head and neck as well. You're gonna stop at that point and then come back overhead and then bring it back forward again. So it's almost like you're doing a half circle, stopping and then reversing and coming back. Your palm, as it comes overhead and behind you, can face up towards the ceiling. That'll get that chest nice and open. So here we're still working on this mobility here, and then we're gonna work on a little bit more strength work after this. So always good to increase your range of motion and make sure you're mobile before we get into these other movements. Otherwise you might be too tight and stiff in that upper body. Good, let's do 1 more, bringing it back. Good, circle it open. This time I want you to hold it here. Try to keep your hips stacked, your knees together. Look back towards that back arm. Go ahead and hold it here. Nice deep breath in. Good, exhale, release. Try to let that back shoulder sink down a little bit more. 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale. Good, go ahead and sweep that arm back around to center. And this time you'll go ahead and press yourself up to seated. Swing your legs over to the other side and we'll do that same thing with that other arm. So already, I hope you are feeling a lot looser in that upper body, a lot more limber and open. Go ahead and start to move this top arm here. Good, circling open, bringing that arm back behind you. Good, and then back again, overhead, and then bring it forward. Good, keep that moving. That nice half circle opening. Head, neck, and chest towards that back arm as it sweeps back. Good, let's do a few more here on this side. Keeping your legs and your hips nice and steady allows for more movement in your thoracic spine for this rotation, which also is a great way to mobilize and loosen up that spine if you just stay in that kind of one seated position most of the day. Let's do one more. Good, open. Good, back around and back to center. All right, come to lay on your back now. We're gonna do some bridging. So this is gonna start to wake up the back body a little bit more into that strength work here. So you're gonna feel this in the glutes and the hamstrings, but I do want you to really think about your collarbone staying nice and wide and open this entire time. So the back of the arms are really pressing into the mat and staying engaged. Your feet are walking a little bit closer to your body in parallel. We'll take a deep breath in here on your inhale, just stay here. And then on your exhale, you're gonna use your glutes to press those hips up. So here we get some nice opening in the front of the hips as well. Now hold here for a moment. Really feel all four corners of your feet pressing down. Knees are aligned straight ahead, and you're really pressing into the backs of those arms, and really make sure that we're not arching that lower back, but lengthening through that back body as well. All right, now I want you to, with a flat back, lower the hips down just to tap the floor, and then you're gonna go ahead and lift it back up. Good, lower down to tap. Good, lift, press it up. Good, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Great exercise again to engage, strengthen back body, open up front body. Really nice stretch for the quads and the hip flexors. Let's do 3 more. 3. Last 2. Last one. I want you to lift and hold here, so stay lifted. Now you can either stay here if you'd like to try to clasp your hands underneath your body. Go ahead and do that, and you're gonna try to wiggle your shoulders closer to each other so you get a little bit more opening in that front body, and you're just gonna hold here. Just stay nice and strong, right? Really use your glutes to open up the front of the hips and quads. Good, let's take one more breath here. Good, exhale, release, and then release the arms. This time roll the spine down one vertebrae at a time until the pelvis lands. All right, let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. And you're gonna rock up to a seated position. So once you get there, you're gonna stay in seated, and we're gonna do a little bit more shoulder mobility here before we move into a little bit more upper body strengthening and core work. So go ahead and draw the arms forward. And we're gonna do protraction, retraction. So we're gonna find our spine nice and tall right on top of our sitting bones. And we're gonna reach the fingertips away by spreading the shoulder blades on the back. And then we're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together as we bring the arms slightly back. So not the arms slightly back, but the shoulders back. Arms stay reaching or forward here. Good. So it's just that movement at the shoulder blades, reaching away and then squeezing together. So we did this on all fours right when we started. And now you don't have the pressure of the hands in the mat. So you really just have to feel your body moving in space. Arms stay straight the whole time. Squeeze the shoulders back like you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Let's do 2 more. Forward and back. Good, last one, forward and back. Very nice. All right, now shoulders are kind of somewhere in between there. They're not squeezing back together, they're not reaching forward. They're just nice and stable on your back. Now with a flat back, we're gonna hinge at a 45-degree angle. So think of using your core here. We don't want the back to arch. It's gonna stay nice and flat, hinging back, and then bring it back up to seated. Good, I want you to inhale as you hinge back. You're moving right at the hip flexors here. Exhale as we bring it back up to center. Good, inhale. Make sure you're not flailing or popping the ribs as you hinge back. Exhale, bring it back up. Good, we're gonna do 4 more. 4. Good, last 3. This keeps a nice neutral spine. So instead of rolling and rounding the back and kind of hunching in the shoulders, we're trying to keep this nice width in the collarbone. with this neutral position. Good. Let's do one more, hinging back. Good, and back to center. Okay, now to release into the hips a little bit, let's go ahead and butterfly the knees, still sitting up nice and tall on the sitting bones. Now, we're gonna do a little upper body work here, staying seated. So go ahead and draw your arms up to the ceiling. Palms are gonna face forward towards your feet. And then you're gonna squeeze the shoulders down the back into a W with the arms, squeezing, squeezing, and then bring the arms back up. Good, do that again. Squeeze the shoulders down and then extend. So you should really feel this work in the back body, but you should feel it also in your full core here. So front, back, sides, while you're staying nice and lifted with this tall spine. Good, arms squeeze down. Good, and then they reach back up. Very nice, squeeze. Good, and extend. Good, 3 more, 3. Last 2. Good, last one, squeeze it down, beautiful, and then bring it all the way back up. All right, so stay here in your seated position, bring the knees back up, walk the hands back behind you, and turn the fingers to face away from your body. And now I want you to shift your hips forward enough that you can really feel this stretch in the front of the chest and the shoulders. So already this should feel like a decent stretch here. Make sure not to sink down into the shoulders and around the back, but stay lifted through your chest. So keep your sternum reaching up towards the ceiling, like you're bringing your shoulders back down and together. Let's do 2 more full breaths here. Good, last one. All right, and then walk your hands back closer to you, and you can shift back towards the center of your mat. All right, we're gonna be doing a deeper sort of back bend with a chest stretch. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple options here. So you can either stay with your hips nice and low as you lift up, or bring your hips up a lot higher for a deeper back bend. Feet are gonna stay really planted into the floor. You're gonna take your left hand, bring it back behind you, fingers facing away. Then you're gonna start to press up with the hips as you sweep this right arm up and back into this kind of half side bend here. And then you lower the hips down. Nice and controlled. Switch to the other side. Right hand comes back. Roll that shoulder back and down. We press up, lift the hips. Good, try to open the front of the hips as much as you can. And then we lower it back down with control and release. Now you can always stay a little bit lower with the hips, just staying here and maybe focusing on the arm coming back and that shoulder opening. So just do what you can. Good, lower down. Good, bring the hips down, other side. Good, lift, lengthen, press. Good, lower and release. We have 1 more on each side. So really roll the shoulder back and down. Use the glutes to press those hips up. Bring it up. Good, lower, all the way down. 1 more. Arm comes back. Roll the shoulder back and down. We lift. Good, and lower with control. And we release. All right, beautiful job. Let's go ahead and find a seated position now, facing forward. And we're gonna do a little twist here. So a couple options. You can take one leg, bring it fully to the floor. The other leg is gonna cross over that leg and sit up nice and tall for your twist. Or if you'd like a little bit more, you can take this bottom leg, bend it underneath you, getting both sitting bones grounded on your mat, and then we sit up nice and tall. Now, we're gonna go ahead and twist towards the leg that's lifted, and we're gonna look over that shoulder. So grow tall through that spine, shoulders back and down here. Again, rotation, so good to do for the spine, for the body, especially if you sit a lot and you're not getting a lot of this rotational work through the body during your day. Always good to add this in. and really good for the shoulders as well. Some nice opening, connection through that back body. Go ahead and twist the other direction. Keep your legs as they are, just a little counter twist. And then we'll bring it back to center, and then we'll switch sides. So either find that straight leg reaching out or the bent knee underneath you. And wherever you're at, just make sure you're seated nice and tall. All right, so lifting, go ahead and twist towards that top leg. Look over that shoulder. With each exhale, just see if you can go a little bit further into that rotation. Good, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Good, come through center, over to the other side. Little counter stretch, counter twist. Good, and bring it back to center. All right, we're gonna take a quick break here. We have more to do. Open up the chest, the shoulders, and the hips here. So go ahead and grab some water, take a breather, and I will meet you right back here in just a moment. Let's come up to kneeling now for a lunge stretch for the hip flexor and for the quad. So we're gonna go ahead and lift on up. You're gonna face the end of your mat, so the mat is the long way. And you're gonna take that right leg, we're gonna bring it forward and bending it at about a right angle. And that left knee is nice and planted firmly on the mat. Now, as you're here, before you start to lean forward, I really want you to focus on lifting up through your core, pressing down and forward with your glutes, okay? What that's gonna do is really open up that left hip flexor, and that's what we're looking for, that hip flexor stretch on that side. Now, maybe you go just a little bit deeper into that opening here, not too far. We actually wanna stay up so the hands stay on that right quad, that right thigh. All right, shoulders are down and back. Focus on breathing into that left hip flexor. You should already be feeling it. Maybe walk that right foot just a little bit farther away so the knee isn't angled over the toes. Good. Inhaling here. Exhale. Shoulders down. Now, if you want a little bit more, take that left arm. We're going to reach it up towards the ceiling by your ear. Already, you should feel a deeper stretch into that quad and hip flexor. And then we're going to take it up and over to the right, so a little side bend. Inhaling deeply into that left rib cage. Exhale. Good, one more breath here. Inhale. Good, exhale. Make sure the chest isn't rounding towards that right leg. Keep it open, straight ahead towards the front. And then bring yourself back up. Take the arm down. We're gonna switch legs now. So go ahead and take that right leg back and then bring it forward, or bring that left leg forward. All right, so first, stay nice and upright, squeezing right butt cheek to open up the front of that hip flexor. Belly is pulling in and up. Now go ahead and find maybe a little bit of a deeper stretch as you lean forward just ever so slightly. Shoulders back and down. So even as you're here in this position, right, we're not really using that upper body too much, but you may find that your shoulders are creeping up by your ears. Really slide the shoulders down the back. That's just good practice that we don't need to be holding tension up into our upper body. We want to be focused on relaxing, sliding those shoulders down. It's amazing how often they just start to creep up really slowly over time. All right, go ahead and take that right arm now, reach it up towards the ceiling. Good, and then up and over towards your left. Keep inner thighs squeezing towards each other, towards the midline. Roll that right shoulder back and down, chest is nice and open. Good, inhaling, breathing into right side rib cage. Good, and then draw that spine back up to that tall position, arm comes down, and then we go ahead and sweep that left leg back. All right, come back down onto your back before we flip it over onto your belly. So go ahead and come all the way down. This one I want you to extend your left leg all the way to the floor. Right leg is gonna pull into your chest, and then right hand on top of that right knee, and just start to do some nice big circles here of that leg in the hip socket. So just trying to loosen it up. Hopefully those hip flexors feel a lot more released. It'll probably be easier for you to lay down and not feel so tense in the front of those hips. Go ahead and reverse your circles. Try to make them as big as you can. Again, just getting that mobility. Hips get so tight when we're seated for so long. All right, go ahead and pull it in one last time. Give it a nice pull into the chest, holding it. And then we'll switch sides. Release that right leg down. Pull the left knee in. Now left hand on top of that knee. Find those big circles here. Good. Good, a couple more in this direction, then we'll reverse those circles. Good, reversing. Good, one more. And then pull that knee nice and snug in towards your chest. Good, one more breath here. And then release the feet to the floor. You're gonna flip on over onto your belly. And we already got a nice quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, so you should feel like the hips are nice and open here. We're gonna work on swan first, so we're gonna work on some of our extension here, more of our back body strengthening as we open up that front body. So we're gonna lay ourselves down, forehead is on the mat, hands are right underneath those shoulders. Now you still want active legs here, so you really wanna reach your legs long, engage your glutes here by pressing your hips into the floor, and then pull your belly button off the mat. Now, press into your hands as you start to lift the upper body up, keeping the elbows nice and close to your side. So just that upper body is lifting. Shoulders are back and down, and then we lower it back down. So this is strengthening your upper back, your thoracic spine, and all the muscles around it, while keeping that connection into the back body with the shoulders, so that we keep the collarbone and the chest nice and wide. Good, so keep moving with that breath. We're gonna do 3 more, pressing down into the hands as the upper body lifts. And then exhale, bring it down. Last 2. The abdominals are protecting that lower back as you lift, so you're not arching in that lumbar spine. Inhale to come up, exhale to lower all the way back down. All right, before we move on to the next one, make a pillow for your head with your hands, bend your knees, and just windshield wiper those legs side to side. Now extend the legs back out behind you and extend the arms forward in front of you with the forehead still down at the mat. We're going to move into swimming now. So this is more of a full back body exercise where we move the arms and the legs. So find that core center as you pull the belly button in and up. And now we're going to go ahead and lift upper and lower body, arms, legs, head, chest. Hold it there. You're not coming up too high. And now we're going to lift right arm, left leg, and then left arm, right leg. And so keep alternating that. This is swimming, so you're imagining that you're swimming through the water. Nice long, strong arms and legs here. And then once you feel that stability in your center, you can start to move those arms and legs faster. This is great work for the glutes, hamstrings, back of the shoulders, back. Lots of great back body work here. Good. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower it all the way down. Go ahead and make that pillow again for your head. Bend the knees, windshield wiper those legs. Very nice. All right. Moving into double leg kicks. So I want you to turn your head to one side, clasp your hands behind your back. Legs are as one, so they're staying nice and close together this whole time. Pull the belly in. We kick the legs in together. 3, 2, 1. Lift up, extends arms, legs, upper body, reach back. Lower, turn the head to the other side. 3, 2, 1, kick it in. Reach it away. Extend. Good, lower. 3, 2, 1. Open those shoulders. Reach it away. Bring it down. 3, 2, 1. Lift, lengthen, extend, and lower. Good, 3, 2, 1. As you lift, you're thinking up and length. So up and long at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Reach, extend. This is your last one. And then bring it all the way down. All right, forehead on those hands, bend the knees. Last windshield wiper here, side to side. All right, so we're gonna take the hands, we're gonna place them to the top corners of our mat and then bring ourselves up into a much bigger swan. This is called swan dive. I want you to widen your legs just a little bit more. Now, if this is too much for you, you come to that first swan that we did and just stay with that lifting and lowering. If you want swan dive, shoulders down, core is lifted and engaged the whole time. We're gonna release the arms as you do that. Upper body's gonna come down, lower body lifts off the mat, and then we lift ourselves back up and hold. So inhale down, exhale lift. Inhale, exhale. Those arms are shooting out in front of you. It's like you're rocking down. You rock up, lift and hold. Rock and lift. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lift it up and then lower it all the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders. This time we press it back into a child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead down, and feel that opening in that lower back. So we just did a lot of extension, which might feel like you've shortened or constricted that lumbar spine. So we're trying to open it up here. Good. Another deep breath. Good. Exhale, release. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, pulling that right hip back. Good, one more deep breath in. Good, exhale, let it go. Over to the other side now. Hands to the right. Breathe into that left side. Good, one more here. Good, walking those hands back to center. Let's go ahead and sit onto the heels as we start to stack the spine all the way up to seated. All right, go ahead and find a comfortable seat facing forward. And we're just gonna find just some additional neck rolls, shoulder rolls here just to release any last bits of tension you have already as you're sitting in this position. Hopefully you can feel the shoulders drawing back and down, right? That nice release of the shoulders back and down so you can get this beautiful posture, this great alignment that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and find some nice big shoulder rolls here. Good. Forward, up and back. Make them as big as feels comfortable. Good. Let's do one more in this direction. Good. Now reverse it. Squeeze them back up and then forward. Okay, it's always good to stay nice and mobile in the shoulders, right? That's gonna help to find this better alignment. If you're too tight in the shoulders, you're gonna be stuck in this position. So you always wanna loosen, mobilize, and stretch it out. So let's hold here with the arms, either the hands in the lap or down by your sides. And I want you to drop your chin towards your chest while keeping the shoulders back and down, and just feel that stretch through that neck and top of the shoulder area. Good. Breathe into that spot. Feel that release. Now go ahead and lift the chin and then drop left ear to left shoulder. You can Go ahead and reach your right fingertips long along the floor away from you, the other side, to get a deeper stretch. Good, last one. Good, lift the head back up over to the other side. Right ear, right shoulder, left fingertips reaching along the floor away from you. Good, do one more breath, inhaling, breathing into that side neck. And exhale, release. Good, one last thing I want you to do. I'm gonna face the side so you can see me a little bit better. But something that often happens when we're in this seated posture, in a seated posture a lot, is that the head starts to kind of reach forward, what we call turtleneck or computer neck, where you're trying to get yourself closer to that screen. It's kind of pulling you in. Well, we don't want our head way forward over in front of our shoulders, in front of our body. So I want you to think of dropping the chin a little bit and then pulling the head back so the ears are pulling back in space. And what we want is for the ears to come right over those shoulders. So make this an exaggerated movement. So now stick your head out forward. Kind of feel how even awkward that feels as you do that. And then you want to lengthen the back of the neck as you pull your chin back and up. So ears again are right over those shoulders. So you should feel this nice length in the back of the neck now. And then one more, reach the head forward. Good, and then pull the head back. And this might feel like a lot of work here, keeping your head in this position back. It'll get more natural as you continue to practice using those muscles in the back of your neck to pull the head back, right? Lengthening that, and even using the muscles in the front here, kind of pulling back as you do that. So just a little last minute extra to think about as you're seated. But hopefully you guys feel so much better now. Such a great way to release everything at the end of a day, or maybe even to start your day so you really have these ideas in mind as you come into that seated position. Always great to take a little movement break throughout the day as well, and that always helps too, just to kind of reset the body and get you back into better position. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did and want to check out some other workouts, I'm going to link to here. This one up here is one I think would be great for you, and then down here is my last upload before this one. So please let me know what you thought in the comments below. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you back here on the mat for the next one. Take care.